Adam J live from downtown Herndon, GB Studios. How's everybody doing today? You want to go solar, but you need a new roof. Worse, you decide to go solar. You've signed that dotted line, and you find out you need a new roof. No cause for concern. In fact, you have options. And those options actually raise the equity in your house and save you problems down the line. Nick from Castlestone Homes, owner, is here to set the record straight. Nick, thanks for being here. Nick, owner, Castlestone Homes. How we doing today?
Fantastic.
Fantastic?
Fantastic.
Listen, we have many homeowners on freak out mode, okay? Homeowners that want to go solar, find out they need a new roof. Alarm bell sounds. More so, we have homeowners that have already gone solar with other EPCs, okay? And they're not all bad. They find out they need a, it's funny, right? I mean, it's almost funny. It's almost funny. They find out they need a new roof after they have signed their contract, which puts you in kind of a dilemma, trying to find financing to pay for that roof when they're going into a home solar installation, okay? I'm glad you're here today. I want you to help me really set the record straight on this. What I'm trying to determine is, and I have my hunch, a re-roof and a residential solar installation truly go hand in hand if there is a need for both. In fact, a homeowner will actually save money and raise the equity of their house. So you can agree with me, you don't have to agree with me, but first, introduce yourself, plug yourself. I know you. I talked to you last night. That was fun. You did not answer your call when you were at dinner with your wife. That's the first time I've been ignored. You know, I always do a call the day before, okay?
Just make sure you tell her that.
Talk to me a little bit about your company, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me over. Well, we are primarily out of Maryland, and we do a lot of residential roofs, and we've been doing a lot of re-roofs around the solar. 16. Yep. But there's actually an interesting backstory. I don't have to dive too deep into that. Let's dive into it. All right. So we weren't originally created to install roofs at all. We started the company as a real estate investment company. We were buying and selling houses. We were flipping houses. And we had a couple rentals. And creating the crews and everything, learning the process, we had no idea what we were doing. My partner and I, we had back-end office jobs and wearing a suit and tie every day. Thought we were all fancy. And then we tried to get into real estate, thought we knew what we were doing. We had no idea what we were doing. Learned a lot. And then just through that process, we built partnerships with different crews. And in the meantime, because we did all this kind of part-time in addition to what we were doing, I ended up getting my foot in the door into roofing, into the industry, by working with a friend of mine.
Which I almost know nothing about, so we're on the same page.
Okay. So this is, but I was helping him grow his business. He started a new business, and I was excited for him.
What's his name?
His name is Ben Jacoby.
All right, Ben. I just like your name.
Yeah, so he started out, and he started doing everything great. And then what happened was the company started taking off, and we ended up just kind of parting ways. A couple other people outgrew the business, and a lot of people started branching off and doing their own thing. I ended up going into the just roof inspection side of the business.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on with roofing. It's not just residential roofs. So like you were mentioning with the solar, a lot of that is more just kind of based on the retail. When the roof gets old and they want to replace the roof, half of what we do is through insurance. So I ended up working with the insurance companies. I was doing roof inspections on behalf of the insurance companies. A lot of times when there's storm-related damage, homeowners will file a claim and have the insurance company come out.
Okay.
If the roof is too tall or too steep, they don't want to get on the roofs. Their adjusters don't want to get on the roofs because it's too much of an insurance liability. So they'll hire a third-party company to actually do that inspection for them. So I started off as a sales contractor, and then I ended up working as a roof inspector on behalf of one of those third parties. So did that a little bit full-time while we were doing that real estate investing on the background. So we were kind of doing both at the same time. So understood the sales aspect of a contractor. Then I became a roof inspector, so I understood all of that.
Already smarter than me.
And
Nice. All right.
I don't know about all that. But then I was recruited to be an independent adjuster. So I started to work for insurance companies, learning how their processes work, how they write their estimates, what they look for. And as an independent, I work with a bunch of different insurance carriers. So I got the inside scoop of how the insurance company operate from behind the scenes.
Okay.
So
I
with
thought of a Tostitos commercial. Just scoop it up.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll probably have to edit that.
Nah, you'll be fine. It was great. But yeah, so with that knowledge of working as a contractor for my friend, working as a roof inspector for a couple years, and then working as an insurance adjuster, Mike and I, my partner, we ended up taking our current company that we have as like a real estate. We were trying to get that going, and we just shifted gears and turned it into what it is today. We wanted to focus more, instead of flipping houses and doing full construction, we wanted to just take the crews that we have, the knowledge that we gained, and specialize in insurance restoration.
And you're in Maryland, PA, District of Columbia?
Maryland, PA, Delaware, working on Virginia.
Nice. Okay. So you're credible. I love it. Thank you for being here. You're credible. It's saving me.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Now let's bring this back to perspective. I have homeowners call me daily. Homeowners that want to go solar, but they need a new roof.
Mm-hmm.
Worse, I have homeowners call me daily that have already signed that dotted line with the EPC, okay, with the intent that they will have a complete residential solar system from start to finish, installed, no issues. They go in freak out mode. They go, I am at the mercy of the utility companies. What am I going to do? How am I going to afford this roof? It's scary.
And what are the options?
Have you heard of this? Yeah, and what are the options? I mean, I know what I normally would tell them, okay? I want to hear this from you. Have you heard of this? I mean, is this a common trend in the solar industry? Because to me, a re-roof and a solar system, a residential solar system, if needed, go hand in hand.
Correct. Yeah, we've definitely heard of it. We've heard every excuse, so to speak. But what happens is a lot of people have a need, and the problem is they don't know how to afford the replacement.
Money.
Exactly. So what are the different options to make this work out?
Okay, so there's money. And what about those surprises? Okay, what about our permits just got approved. The loan for our bank is about to expire in a month. How does that happen? Is that through improper site surveys? Is that through just, I mean, we want to get by? I mean, I really truly don't understand. Why is that not found in the beginning? With Green Brilliance, it is. Why is it not across the board? I mean,
that, I think it comes down to processes and systems within the company. A lot of times it might be just stretched too thin, or they're not entirely secure enough to figure out all of this stuff, or they're not just focused on the homeowners specifically. When it comes to the roofing aspect of it,
Sure.
we don't have to worry about the permits at all.
so
it's easy for us.
So with this, I'm going back to the site survey. And in your opinion, could a proper site survey alleviate most surprises?
Yeah, absolutely. If you had a proper site survey and somebody went out and actually inspected the roof, and they had a gauge of the quality, the condition, how much life is left in the roof versus how much life there is in a solar system,
Okay.
and comparing that.
Hold on to that. So right now, we've identified money. Okay? Money. We've identified that I have tiny and awkward hands. Money, okay? And the need for a proper site survey for a residential solar installation. I have a feeling that roof, I actually know, that roof should be part of that survey to prevent any surprises before that solar system deal is signed. And we're going to come back to those two, the money part and the site survey part, okay? I have a colleague, Anastasia. If you're out there, I know you're listening. I love saying that. She sent me an article from, and I think your family is from Florida.
I have family in Florida.
Yeah?
They're not from Florida.
We'll go with from Florida.
Yeah, they skip town and
I'm
jump
not
ship.
that cool, man. All right. An article from Florida Roofing Magazine. I think this was last November, so it's about a year old. Okay. 2.3 million homeowners want to go solar. That's the claim from a roofing magazine. No offense. Okay.
None taken.
But here's where 20% of those, 20% of that number, 20% of those homeowners need new roofs. Okay. So let's hold on to that for a second. Forbes magazine. I don't read very much. Okay. Forbes magazine. 75% of homeowners right now would like to go solar. And only a third have reservations about the cost, have reservations about the process. So I'm taking these numbers and I'm kind of going, financing, money, for a residential solar system is figured out and only getting better for homeowners. And we had an episode about the IRA, so we don't need to touch base on the tax advantages, okay? But the roof part, why is that lost in translation? Why is that causing so many people to just get scared? And I think it's coming back to what you the money, the financing options, and being prepared for or being prepared to know those financing options, which we would only know from a site survey. So let's tackle those two topics right now, okay? So financing options, you got into that, okay? I mean, talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different companies that offer financing. There's a plethora of companies. It's trying to find a good company that's going to be one that you trust, that pays out on time, that has good rates, that approves homeowners. But a lot of companies, a lot of roofing contractors aren't even offering financing. And that was surprising to me.
Okay.
But I understand why, because when we first started out, we didn't have that many financing options ourselves. Because we started, like I mentioned, specializing in insurance restoration. When the insurance company pays for everything, you don't have to worry about financing anything for the homeowner except for possibly their deductible. So once we started tapping into retail, the financing started to become a lot more apparent. It's a lot harder to have homeowners because they're scared of the payment options to try and get anything approved or covered without financing. So
yeah, I want to get rid of that. Let's.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to not finance if you can't afford to possibly just cover the roof out front. I mean, not too many people have buckets of money laying around. So financing just allows you to take care of that need while being able to properly afford it over a period of time.
So other than solar loans, okay, there are other options.
Absolutely.
And I did hear you say insurance. Is insurance still part of the process majority, or is it?
It's part of our process, yes. Yeah, so if we were to do our own site survey, and that's the other thing, kind of tapping into that other.
Perfect. Yeah.
If we
let's
were
do this.
The improper site survey, a lot of or not even contractors, the people that are performing the site surveys, they're probably looking at it mainly from a solar perspective. They want to get an idea of what the layout of the roof's going to look like, where the panels are going to be.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that the solar system meets the energy demands of the household. But I think we start to forget
the roofing aspect of it and how
because those panels actually have to.
Correct. Yeah, and if you're going to put a solar panel on an old roofing system, what's going to happen when that roofing system needs to be replaced and those panels are only on there for a couple years?
Sounds like more money.
It's a lot more money. To remove and replace, to detach and reset solar panels just to replace a roof is extremely expensive. And it almost costs more to detach and reset a solar system than it does to just replace the roof in and of itself, which is crazy.
Okay, so hypothetically, I'm a homeowner. I have a proper site survey. I know my financing options. I decide to get a solar loan, or you know what? No. Let's just keep this simple. I go cash, okay? I go cash. At the end of the day, if I needed that roof and we do it together, would it be fair to say I would save time and money?
It would streamline the entire process and cost less. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So far, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling so good. I want to play a little game.
Let's
all
do
right.
it.
I want to play a little game. It's called Adam Numbers Game. All right.
Oh, this
The
is gonna be
Adam
great.
Numbers Game. I just invented the name. Just happened. I just need you to hold on to maybe one or two numbers for me. Okay. So I was a banker for years. Don't hate me. It's okay. All right.
It's going to be tough.
I can tell you right now that a re-roof on a house coming from a trusted vendor, okay, appraises for at least $4K more. Like, it increases the equity of the house by about $4K. And that's really not my stat, okay? That's from National Association of Realtors. Why did they make them so long and exaggerated? I experienced when we went to appraise more houses for home equity lines and so forth on residential homes, the equity actually increased more. Let's take that a step further, okay? So re-roof equity goes up, okay? Great. I'm still feeling good. Can you hold on to that $4,000 for me?
I think I can remember that number.
Okay, all right. It's not that challenging. Not for me.
I thought you were going to have me do some math or something.
You want me to? All right. Now, when Green Brilliance installs a solar system, now that I'm in solar, I do understand this, okay? We are Pearl certified, and we're going to be doing an episode on Pearl later, I think next month, okay? The equity in the house raises 5% or more. It's an amazing thing. So I'm going to hold on to 5%.
I got 4.
Okay, so if we have a need for a re-roof for a solar panel residential installation, we are increasing the equity of our house by at least $4,000 with the roof and by at least 5% of the equity of the house from our Pearl certification. And we're also saving money if we do it at the same time, right? The re-roof and the solar installation. Am I missing something?
No, adds up.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something? I shouldn't be, right? No. Is that there's really there's no hidden agenda here. Like you actually do save money. It makes sense. There's no reason to be scared.
It does if you have all the information.
If you have all the information. I love it. I love it. So I'm still the homeowner, and I feel so good because I know how I'm going to pay for this re-roof. I want my solar system installed. I've had a proper site survey, which told me I need a re-roof. I'm excited to save. What's the process like? From you.
With us.
Yeah.
So with that proper site survey, that would generally come with a lot of photos. It would start with us reviewing the site survey. We want to take a look at the actual inspection itself. We want to make sure it was a good site survey. If the photos in the report come back and we have a few questions ourselves, we might have to actually go out and perform our own site survey.
Okay.
And what that's going to look like is just having somebody inspect the roof, look at all the different, the quality of the shingles. We want to look at the age of the shingles. Is there 2 layers? A lot of times site surveys don't even include that. If there's 2 layers.
What does that mean?
You having a second layer, a lot of not required. You're able to install 2 layers of shingles according to code, and it's a lot cheaper, but it's not great. I would definitely recommend not doing that. It decreases the lifespan of the new roof that you put on top significantly. So if you put a 25-year 3-tab shingle over top of a 25-year 3-tab shingle, that second roof, it's not going to last 25 years. It might, if you're lucky, last
basically
15.
Band-Aids.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's just an incredibly cheap way of going about it. So one, we want to see if there's 2 layers. If there is, I would definitely not recommend putting a solar system on any roof with 2 layers, regardless of the age. And if there is any, coming from the insurance side here, is there any storm-related damage? Because we've been having a lot of crazy storms lately. If the roof's really old, are there shingles missing? Was there a hailstorm that came through and it just damaged the entire roof? Are there tree limbs that have fallen off and just created a whole bunch of damage to the shingles just from the tree limbs or even puncturing the shingles? If we see any of that, clearly the roof needs to be either repaired or replaced, but that could possibly be something that would warrant going through insurance. Still needs to be fixed, but instead of having to talk about financing options or seeing if they have cash to pay for all of this, it's something we would try and get the insurance company to cover. So that's where the site survey would start, is get an idea of the condition of the roof. Is it something we can even put through insurance in the first place? If it's not, then how old is the roof? What's the quality of the roof, the condition of the roof?
10 years? How's that? 10, 11, 12?
Right. And you can get an idea of the age out off the bat based off of whether or not there's that black streaking on the shingles. You'll see it all the time. You don't even realize it. Most people don't look at their roof at all.
I don't get up
Yeah,
there.
nobody looks at it. Nobody's going to climb on the roof.
You want to lend me a ladder?
I'd love to. Then I don't have to worry about doing it myself. But nobody looks at their shingles. And until there's an issue, no one even looks or cares about the roof. Until they see water coming through the drywall or starting to leak.
Yeah, there's no preventative maintenance. I mean, not even for me. It's like,
then no one's
there's
going
a
to care.
bucket. That's preventative.
Yeah, no one's thinking, oh, I should have an annual roof inspection just to make sure that there's no issues at all. And what happens is that a lot of times the roofs are in terrible condition, very old, but there's no interior damage, so nobody looks at it. But if you look at the streaking and everything that's on the roof, like those black streaks, it's basically an algae growth that occurs. It takes about, like with the older shingles, about 10 years or so for that algae to start to grow.
That sounds disgusting.
It's not great. I mean, the new shingles...
I'm thinking Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen Swamp Thing? It's
I
pretty
haven't,
cool. The
but I would
CW,
imagine.
the CW tried to bring it back. I think it lasted 7 or 8 episodes. I might have watched 2. Yeah, it's just a swamp creature. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm thinking that the Swamp Thing is on top of the roof, just
creating all the. It's exactly what it is. Yep. So envision that the guy on the roof and just spreading, and the longer he's there, the more it spreads. And generally, it grows where the sun isn't directly hitting the roof, so it's not going to be all over the roof. Okay. But if there's any streaking, the chances are that roof's more than 10 years old.
So is 10 the magic number for let's look at it?
It is.
In general.
It is, right. And the reason is because when it comes to re-roofing for a solar installation, you can correct me if I'm wrong because this is your area of expertise, solar panels are generally about 25-year lifespan.
25 to 30 years.
25 to 30 years. Okay, perfect. So if the roof is 10 years old or a little older than 10 years, the older advanced roofing systems, they were either 25 or 30 years old. So if that's their lifespan and they're about 10 years old, they only have about 20 years left of the life expectancy.
Nick, so, okay, we've established the site survey process, the need. And I didn't say want, the need. What is the actual installation process like? Is it, hey, I'll show up tomorrow and then come back a week later? Is it a 5-day install? What is it like? Talk to me. Make it make sense. Make it easy for me.
Absolutely. So it's very simple. Once we take a look at the roof and we identify the site survey and we review that, it then becomes us reaching out to the homeowner and just picking out colors before we even put shingles on.
Like red?
Yeah, exactly. Or
blue,
yellow or
pink,
purple. They've got them all.
Zebra?
Yeah, if you're feeling it. But picking out colors. And once we have that, then it's essentially just putting it on the production schedule, getting it scheduled.
Production schedule?
Yeah, just letting them
Sounds
know.
Fancy.
It does. It's very simple. Okay. Just telling the homeowners, hey, this is when the roof's going up. And we also let them know
tomorrow. It's going up tomorrow. I live there, 8:30 in the morning. Walk me through it.
That day. So the crew will get out there between 7 and 9, usually early, depending on where it is, how big the roof is. And we just ask that homeowners aren't going to be walking around the house, especially in the morning when they're ripping everything off. It takes about a day. Everything's cleaned up, swept through with a huge magnet. They go through, clean up all the nails. The last thing we want is for anybody to step on a nail or drive over a nail.
I'm feeling nails are not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. Okay. Yeah, we've done a survey, and it turns out people are against driving over nails and stepping on them. So we decided to do a better job cleaning up. So we have this isn't just us. Everybody who does a roof, it should take about a day, depending on the size. And everybody should go through, sweep up all the nails. They clean up all the debris, and the house looks essentially better than it did the day before. You can leave, go to work. No one's there. Come home. The crew's already done the work, packed up, left, cleaned everything, and you see a new roof on the house. That's how quick and easy it should be.
I just thought of 2 questions, okay? Now, don't get alarmed.
No, let's hear them.
They're going to stump you.
Love it.
What the heck is the deal with a flat roof? That's the one. That's one. It's
a great question.
It's flat.
Yeah.
Okay? So the way I think of this is architecturally, structurally, maybe it's fine, all that, cool. Maybe it looks good, whatnot, but does it make any sense? The water comes down, it's raining. What happens? I don't get it.
Well, every flat roof should have somewhat of a pitch. It shouldn't have standing water on it.
Yeah.
But it does. A lot of times they do.
Why?
Because they're not pitched, and they should be. So a lot of times...
What is a pitch for everyone that does not know?
The pitch is the angle of which the roof actually slopes down. A flat is where there's no angle. If you were to put a marble on the roof, does it roll? And it should roll a little bit in one direction toward the end of the roof, ideally in the gutter. And
gutter plays like P. Yeah, that's what the gutter's for. All right.
it is exactly what it's for.
I remember cleaning them.
But
not
flat
getting paid.
roofing, you're talking like what's the deal with flat roofs? I mean, aside from them just holding water, they also are half of the lifespan of a shingled roof. They 10, 15 years, and then they're constantly needing to be replaced.
So, okay, all right. So let's just pretend I don't have a flat roof right now. The second question. Looks like a freaking Christmas tree. A steep roof? Is that?
That would be steep.
So why, like
a church
the church, I get, okay? I get. But for the majority, the water falls down, and I get, and then it just, everything's gone. Because I'm thinking, it follows gravity. How the heck do you get up there to install or re-roof something? It's just a triangle.
That's a great question. I have no idea how those guys do it. I personally wouldn't do it. That's all on our crew. They are able to get up, they harness in, they strap in, and they're basically mountain climbing the roof when they install the roof and tear it all off.
Like Cliffhanger.
Exactly.
It's a very good movie.
Well, I don't know
It's
if
a
I've seen that
very,
one.
very good movie. He's hanging on for dear life in the first scene.
Well, that's exactly what
it's.
it's like. That's
All right, so I'll circle back and wrap this up. Roofs, solar systems, they can go hand in hand. It's not a curse. At the end of the day, in fact, if you decide to go solar and you need a new roof, you may actually, as a homeowner, save money, raise the equity in your home, and alleviate any potential problems.
Absolutely. If you need one, you should probably get the other with it at the same time. It almost doesn't make sense not to.
At the end of the day, Nick, thank you for being here. Castlestone Homes, castlestone.com.
Castlestone.com, Castlestone, Instagram, Facebook, all over the place.
Now
We're going to be all over a lot more too. So
Just don't say subscribe, please.
not yet.
I mean, you can. I think Nick, thanks for being here. Have a blessed day. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
So at the end of the day, homeowners, a re-roof is not a death mission. You are not at the mercy of your utility company anymore. In fact, a re-roof, if needed, will raise the equity of your house, save you money, and eliminate potential problems for the future. Be blessed. Adam J. signing off.